Hello, everyone. Hope you had a wonderful past 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, YouTube was having issues, and I just didn't wait around to do any type of a video upload. So, apologies on that. And then last weekend, I spent some time with family and got home a lot later than I expected. And then the week was just crazy. Didn't have any time to actually do the video. So, here I am doing this week's edition. Again, apologies on not being around for the past two, and for Google's issues. I'm not going to apologize for their issues, but apologize for not being able to provide everybody with the free analysis. So, again, looking at the dollar index, we have the Fed, FOMC minutes coming out this week, Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, the market's been pricing in rate cuts. And obviously, at this meeting, I'm going to go ahead and just say we will not be getting any cuts from what my understanding is. So, again, what's that going to do for the dollar? Well, very simply put, going to be looking at dollar probably starting off the week doing a little bit of a pullback here, and then again another push back up into close to 98, if not outright hitting 98.12 or so, and then we'll probably do another slow drift back again as we head into the future, because we won't get a rate cut at this meeting, but it'll probably be around August, maybe even September, where we get the rate cuts as the market continues to, or the underlying hard data continues to deteriorate, despite your own personal opinions of the economy. The data is actually showing quite the opposite. Don't believe me? Go ahead and take a look at copper futures and lumber and transports, everything that is actually the backbone of the economy. So, enough of my blabbering here. Looking at dollar again, probably pulling back to around that 97.40, 97.35 area, and then after the minutes come out, we'll be looking at a pretty sharp push to the upside here. So, what's that going to mean for gold? And that's a great question. And as you probably have already figured out, I am going to be bearish on it. So let me just go ahead and update here. And again, as I pointed out 2 weeks ago, that we'd be looking at gold, looking at the upside. Look at this. I haven't even touched this particular template, and it was spot on. Actually, I shouldn't say spot on. It exceeded the expectation. That would be spot on. So again, looking at gold here, very, very strong move. Ended up filling the gap here that we had, at least on investing.com's platform. Very strong move up into the 1354, up to 1355 on this particular chart. So where do we go from here? I think it's pretty much obvious. We're going to be looking at a pretty sharp reversal back down into the 1319, 1320 area. Maybe get a little bit of a bounce here, and then another slam into probably around 1305 ish at an extension level, and then we'll be looking at another push to the upside here on 1320. And I say that because we do have a little bit of a gap down in here, and even on my other platforms, I do see the gap as well. So again, thinking that we go ahead and bottom out pretty close to the mid-fib level, just a couple ticks above 1300. Maybe even they'll paint the tape at that price, but it won't trade a lot there, I don't believe. And then we'll see a nice rebound again into the 1320. So this is actually a trade that I'm looking to particularly take advantage of here. A nice strong drop here. Now, we're not going to start off necessarily just going straight down. I don't believe. I think we're going to end up actually starting the week off probably closer around 1347, 1350, and then we'll start to see, obviously you want to get that higher price, so the big boys will bring it up a little bit, and then they'll take it down into that 1320 area. Might get a little bit of a rally here into 1330 or so. I'm kind of being a little bit more bearish here, but again, still expecting price to kind of bottom out, close that gap around a 1305 level, and then push back up into that 1320. So this is a beautiful trade. Looking at close to a $40 move here on this overall downward push, about 35 bucks to the downside. If you get in around 1357, and again, this is not trading advice. I'm just openly sharing how I think with you all. I did the same thing with my members. It is what it is. Just force a habit. So 1347. If you get in around that price, looking at a nice move down to 1320, that's already 20 plus dollar gain. Goes down further if you have the cojones to hold on and keep your stops in place. It's a beautiful thing. Just let it run, let it run, and let it run as the dollar moves up into that 98 or close to that 98 level. So I personally, as I said, I think we're going to hit that mark. Shouldn't be that big of an issue. So next two pairs, obviously crude oil and natural gas, per my usual four pairs that I provide all of you. First off, oil had its calling card for the past 2 weeks. Members did extremely well on it. I actually took it for a nice little run on Friday into the close, or I'm sorry, in from the open into about noon, and then I missed it into the close. I was looking for another repeat of that overall push. So, what are we looking at here? A complicated little thing, I would say, overall, as we are trying to kind of range between that 51. Where was it? 50. Where's that? 51 and some change, I do believe, on that lower time frame. Let me go ahead and just drop to the 4 hour. A little bit easier to see. So again, we're around that 50, 80-ish area to about that 54.50 level. That pretty large range, and we're going to kind of ping pong around here. Now I'm about 60-40 bullish near term as far as taking a shot at least that 53.50 level. Again, we do have a downward trend here. I'm not even going to bother putting the trend line here. It doesn't really make a difference. So going back into the daily time frame view just to kind of make it easier for everybody, mid fib level is the test that I'm thinking, and that is around that 53.40, 53.50 area. I think that we can go ahead and at least do that. It's possible that we push up in that 54.50 area. Again, I do believe we are pretty much range bound for this upcoming week, but we'll see what happens. Again, we do have the situation with Iran and all that fun stuff. So minimum for me, looking at 53.50 up to 54.50. Downside, obviously, if you break below the recent lows here, then we're going to be looking at again another sustained move to the downside and start looking at oil around those 42s. I just don't think that that's going to happen just yet. I think that we have enough tension out there, geopolitically speaking, of course, that we should be able to continue to try to at least grind up into 54.50, maybe even somehow get up into the 55.30s. But I just don't think at this time this week that we get up into those extreme levels. But at least 53.50s up into around 54.50 is the upside targets in the event that we get a little bit of a squeeze. But then those highs will be met with selling pressure and will probably end up somewhere near the 52.60 to 52.80 area as the resting place for this upcoming week's candle. But we'll see how that all plays out. Now, natural gas, this one, again, some of you that have been following me for some time, I've been calling for sub 250s for a long time. Long time. And the reason being, folks, I mean, as I said, a few weeks back, maybe even 3, 4 weeks at this point, if you look at this overall price action monthly time frame, I mean, you can see that most of the price action has been, within a relative corridor. So you're looking at between four and about, a dollar 60, let's call it. Obviously they have extremas out here. I mean, this is all, during the good times, I guess, when everything was getting squeezed. I don't really know why she was, pushing up in these levels. But again, we have a ton of production of natural gas. And as we can see here, the recent trend over the past several years has been to the downside. So even looking back just recently into 2016, you can see here, we were looking at this overall move right here. And it's very possible, folks, that we see another move like this before we do send prices going back up, right? It's going to take time for that to happen. So as I've been telling, my members and everything, look, she's breaking the 250 level. That has been an area of support for some time. She's going to continue to drift, it looks like, to the downside. Are we going to have some opportunities for some pops to the upside? Of course. Are they going to be sustained? I doubt it. And the reason being is just that this fib is not even in alignment. I apologize. There we go. So obviously I got some cleanup work here to do, but again, this template is specifically designed just for all of you. It's a little bit cleaner in most cases, except for natural gas. For some reason, it's kind of cluttered up, but I use it just for you all. So it's simple, easy to follow with what I'm saying and what I'm doing, and then I can go ahead and mark it up and then keep it for the next time. So again, we had a very nice a bottoming out here. As you can see, we're kind of trending a little bit higher here, and now we have resistance along this level here around that 240 level in the event that we do hold the support here. So I think that we'll end up ranging here, and I think that we might have a shot at around 245, 247-ish. Could push up and squeeze into the 250 area. I mean, that is where she broke from. It's not out of the question, but I go by probabilities when I trade, not necessarily what the extremas are, because I'm not a greedy person and I just don't care. I'd rather you take the guaranteed cash than pray and hope for a better situation that may not arrive. And as most of you know that trade natural gas or have traded it in the past, she is a wild pony. She does buck crazy, find support in unlikely places and resistance in equally as unlikely places. So all I'm saying is this: find what you could see, trade what you see, and not what you think. So again, looking at a corridor price, if she holds that 238, then again we're going to be going to the 245 to maybe even the 248, 250 level. Beyond that, I would say she's probably going to pull back hard into the 240s and again revisit at some time in the near future those 2.328s and then look for probably 220 to 219s, maybe even worse than that. We'll see how it plays out. Obviously, it's just going to take a little bit of time to get there, I would think, but clearly this is still in a sell-off liquidation mode. Type of a situation longer term. Near term, we are obviously trying to bottom out, get a little bit of a bullish price action here, and then the big boys will be looking to probably unload more inventory and take prices back down into the 2.32 area. So one word of advice I could give everybody, as you head into this upcoming trading week, make sure that not only your trading strategies are in line. The biggest thing in trading overall, and a lot of people always ask me, how is it that you can take a loss, get back in the game, and then flip it into a gain? How is it that you're just resilient, persistent, and just never giving up? The reason is I'm not emotional. I'm not emotional, and my mind is solid. I keep a robotic type of a mindset. You have to keep a robotic mindset. When you're in a trade, do not look at the price fluctuation in your account. And by price, I mean not the candles that we're looking at here, right? Not this stuff. This is the raw action, what you should be looking at. Don't be looking at how much you're up, how much you're down. Focus on the setup. Your entry, your exit is absolutely crucial. You get in well, you protect yourself, and by protect I mean use your stop loss when it moves up. Let's say you get in at like 238, she moves up, starts consolidating 240. Move your stop loss to break even. Now you're in a risk-free situation. Play it smart. Be strategic. This is how you survive, thrive. This is how you thrive. And I did say survive, thrive. You have to protect your capital. Protect yourself, keep your mind sharp, keep yourself robotic, and that is how you succeed in this business. There is no other way to do it, folks. You can't sit there and just second guess yourself, because as soon as you get into a trade, I saw this on Instagram recently. As soon as you get into a trade, all of your inner doubts will try to come into play. And the best thing you can do is silence your mind. Shut up that mind and focus on what you've seen and why you got in there. Make sure that you have three reasons, like the RSI showing bullish divergence, the Fibonacci level is at this, and we're approaching this trend line, the MAs, whatever it is that you're using. If you have three reasons to get into the trade, write them down if you have to. And when you hear that little guy or girl inside of your mind start saying, "Oh, well, she's going to come and stop me out," or "Oh, did I miss something? Why is it not? Why is it that I'm in the red and it's not in the green yet?" Blah blah blah. Read those three things. Repeat it, repeat it, repeat it to yourself. Say it out loud if you have to. I'm just trying to give you advice, solid advice, because for years, and all of us go through this. You have your ups, you have your downs, and those of you that have been in the game for a long time, like me, you've gotten your butt kicked, you've blown accounts, you've doubted yourself, you've taken a break, you said you'd never do it again, but your desire and your passion was so strong you decided to stay persistent and get back in the game until you became consistent. And that is the ultimate advice that I can obviously give all of you. Stay solid, keep your mind sharp. And if again, to repeat, if you have a busy looking room or household, and by being busy, you're just unorganized, if it's chaotic, get your stuff together. An organized house is a direct reflection of your mind. So if you have a disorganized, messy house, guess what? I can guarantee you that your mind is probably equally as messy. Clean up your surroundings, clean up your environment, focus on your trade strategies, focus on the reasons why you're in the trade. Stop looking at your gain loss while you're in the trade. Who cares? Who cares what you're at in inter trade, so to say? Either you make money on the trade or you get stopped out. It's that simple. It's all about your setup. Get in properly, get in so that your risk reward makes sense. Have three reasons at least of why you're getting into this trade, and then you're going to be off to a great start. So those are some of the things that you have to absolutely understand about trading. It's like I would say 85% psychological, and the rest of it is just analysis, folks. You have to know the direction, obviously. Clearly, you have to know, what's happening, what these candles mean, what these fibs mean, how they respond to each other, how your moving average is. Everybody uses something different. It doesn't matter. Whatever works for you, fantastic. But if you're going to sit there and doubt yourself every time you get in, it doesn't matter how great your strategy is. You have to have a solid mindset. And if you don't have one, start reprogramming it, because you are going to continue to destroy your account. And by doing that, it may transfer and escalate into other areas of your life, especially if you're playing with money that you shouldn't be playing with. Again, get yourself mentally in the right mindset, and then everything else should continue to fall into line. That's my little goodness speech for everybody. I really do hope you are all having a wonderful weekend. If you have any questions, as always, welcome to leave comments at the bottom of the video. Share it with friends, family, whatever. I always appreciate everybody commenting, asking how I'm doing, and emailing me. I really do appreciate the love that I get. Always remember, on the weekends, get out of the house, enjoy time with family, friends. It's all about the little things in life, and this stuff right here is just a way of creating a better life for yourselves as well. So, again, wonderful weekend to you all. Hope to hear from you soon. And next weekend, I will be, again, putting out some videos as well. That being said, and just an FYI, I will be going on vacation at the end of July. I'll let you know exactly when. Still looking into the exact dates, so that's why I can't give those at this time. So I'll let you know when I will be unavailable, so to say. And again, if anybody has any questions, you can always visit me at the website, thetradersperspective.com, or you can send me an email, thetradersperspective@gmail.com. Have a wonderful weekend. Green trades to you all.